What's up? This is Alex Yu coming at you with another episode. This episode, I want to talk about how people are becoming colder. I mean, not my generation. I'm talking about people who's like 20 or 30 year old. They're becoming colder. And they don't want to get married anymore. Because their best friend is no longer their wife or their husband. Their best friend is the social media. Your best friend is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Tinder, whatever. But before I talk about that, I want to tell you, my name is Alex Yu. I'm the guy who invented physical mortality rings. These are rings that you put on your small finger during sleep. You wear them, you don't age anymore. You become physically immortal. For example, I'm already 54-year-old. If you look at me, I'm still pretty skinny, right? Look at that. I never gained weight ever since I was 19-year-old. I've always been this skinny. If you go to my website, livemuchlonger.com, I have lots of testimonials from Amazon customers. Most of them give me 4-star, 5-star. If you're interested, you want to look like me when you're 54, livemuchlonger.com, livemuchlonger.com. Link is at the bottom of this video. Also, right now I am looking for distributors, to sell my rings and my machine and my foot braces. I'm giving you 50% commission, okay? If you sell my rings or my machine or my foot braces, 50% commission now, okay? You can sign up and you get a replicated website that looks just like Alex Yu's website, okay? And people can purchase our products through your website. Everything that the money is collected by PayPal. You can accept the payment yourself using your own PayPal account, or you can let us accept the money, collect the money from the customers for you using our PayPal account. And then once we collected the money, we'll give you 50% commission via PayPal. Anyway, it's your choice. You can open up, once you sign up, your replicated Immortality Rings website will be generated immediately. You can collect the money yourself using PayPal, or you can let us collect the money for you. 50% commission now. To sign up, okay, there's a link at the bottom of this video. Click on it and you can sign up. Free to sign up. Anyway, today I want to talk about, younger generations are getting colder, They no longer want to get married. No, I can totally understand. Right now AI is taking over. AI is becoming your best friend. I mean, YouTube or Facebook or, even Google, it is sort of an AI, For example, on YouTube, you're bored and you want to look for something to, kill your boredom, right? You want to, if you're like, oh, I'm bored. So what you do, you go to YouTube or you go to Reddit or you go to Google, you do a search, right? That's AI. That's artificial intelligence. I mean, social media is becoming your best friend. You no longer need, or you don't need a wife anymore. You don't need a boyfriend anymore. You don't need a friend anymore. You basically, if you're bored, you just go to one of those social media sites, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, right? You just type in a search and you will find whatever suits your interest. And then you basically just drown in this environment, Like you just sit there, you watch YouTube videos after videos, you just keep watching. Basically, you're just drowning into this environment, And you don't want to pull yourself out because it's so comforting. It's comforting, right? This reminds me of that movie Matrix. You ever watch that movie Matrix? Like, in reality, everybody is like, all the humans are actually being controlled by cells. I mean, it's like they're living inside a cell, and then their brains are being blocked by machines, There's wires plugged into their body, And they're just basically they're just dreaming. They're just dreaming of their life, you know. But in reality, they are feeding by the machine. That movie is a little extreme, but right now in reality, we are being fed by machine, you know. Every day, it's like all I see is younger people. All they do is they watch they have their eye glued to the cell phone. Their eyes are glued to their phone, right? On the bus or on the street. It's kind of funny. It's like I see a guy and I see a man and a woman holding hands, but then each one of them are looking at their own cell phones. That doesn't look very romantic, does it? But it's the reality nowadays. See, I'm already 50 some year old, you know. I mean, I still have a little bit of romance in me, you know. But I could imagine somebody who's 30 or 20-year old, they got used to this environment. They don't have any more romance left, you know. That's the reason why nowadays it's like, if you talk to a girl and she would say, "Oh, I want to date somebody who's only 6 feet tall. You got to be 6 foot tall. You got to earn at least $100,000 a year. You know, it's and you cannot be bald. You cannot be this. You cannot be that." It just it shows you that they're no longer romantic. You know, like you cannot be short. You cannot be poor. I don't know, but I remember the movies, you know, from the 1990s. You know, they're not like that at all. For example, like the Titanic, right? Jack Dawson. He's not rich, you know. In fact, he's a bum. But then Rose would fall in love with Jack Dawson, right? I was watching this HBO series, you know, HBO TV show. It's called The Boardwalk Empire. There's this guy, Richard Harrow. You know, he had half his face blown off by you know, he was a World War I veteran, right? He's a war hero. He has half his face blown off during the war, right? So he wears a mask like like Phantom of Opera, right? And he still could find a wife. He still got married. But nowadays, is that possible? No, it's not possible nowadays. Nowadays, who's gonna marry someone like that? You know, have half his face blown off. No one's gonna marry someone like that, you know? Because nowadays, your best friend is no longer your husband. Your best friend is social media, you know? Like if you're bored, you don't go to your husband. If you're bored, you go to YouTube. You go to Facebook, Instagram, Tinder. You go to TikTok. You don't go to your husband for companionship. No. Nowadays, you want companionship, you go to TikTok or YouTube or Tinder, whatever. You no longer go to your husband. You understand? Therefore, women, they don't need husbands anymore. Men, they don't need wives anymore. Their best companionship is actually YouTube or any social media they find best. Their companionship is no longer human. I think that's the reason why, I don't know, all the economy is failing nowadays. All the stores are closed. All the shops, all the restaurants are closed because romance is dead. You know, without romance, men no longer buy gifts for women. Men no longer treat women to meals, you know? Back in the days, men always pay. It's true. I remember back in the days, yeah, it's like first dates. I mean, it doesn't matter if first dates or second dates or whatever dates. Men always pay. It was true. Men always pay back in the days. And nowadays, I don't know. A lot of men, they just walk out, you know? Like they take a girl to a restaurant and the girl ordered too much food. or the girl talks too much, or the girl's like giving the man the attitude, the man just walk out. Nowadays it's like that, man, they just walk out. Back in the days, you can't. That's unimaginable. A man walking out, and not paying, that's unimaginable. But nowadays, yeah, a lot of men, they just say, fuck this, I'm walking out. And a lot of men, they just walk out. So, I don't know, the simp economy is dying. There's no more simp economy, is dying, okay? So, men, they no longer want to pay for women, and women are stuck with the credit card bills. In China, in year 2024 alone, okay, women's credit card bill has increased 80-fold. 80-fold, that's 8,000%. Women's credit card bill has increased 8,000%. Okay, because you know why? Because back in the days, men are paying for women. But in 2024, in China, simp economy died. Men no longer want to pay for women. And these women are going into debt. Credit card debt, So a lot of women, they just couldn't pay their credit card bills. And women's credit card debt has increased 80-fold in 2024 for Chinese women in China, I can imagine. I'm already 50-some year old. I can imagine for men who's 20-year-old, for men who's a teen right now, teenagers, they're just like slowly. It's like, I don't know. In the future, I think population will decrease. See, in the 1920s, there's only 1 billion people in the entire world. Maybe one day we will reduce to that. Right now there's 8 billion people, right? Maybe one day there's going to be 1 billion people again. I don't know how long it's going to take, but population might reduce to just 1 billion people in the future. But anyway, hey, that's all I want to say for this episode. Have a nice day.